So in our today's session, we will see the slowly changing dimension with MD5 implementation. So MD5 is the function in Informatica. It will generate a hash value. So it is used to generate a hash value. Based on the hash value, we will compare the source data and target data, and we will decide whether we have to go for insert logic or update logic. So if you consider SCD we have already seen that, right? So in our session also we have already seen SCD is nothing but slowly changing dimensions. So whenever we do have the dimension table, if I want to have this dimension table in our target system, we will go for the different types in SCDs, right? We have type 1, type 2 and type 3. So type 1 is nothing but no history will be maintained. So type 2, a history will be maintained, but it's a row level history. So we do have different method like method 1, method 2, method 3, flag method, version method, date method, and type 3. So we have the recent history will be maintained. So all this type 1, type 2, type 3, I have already posted a video and I have taken. So just to go through that, you'll get to know. So this time I will take SCD type 1 with MD5 implementation. The way I have explained for SCD type 2, you can use MD5 functions. See, for this, you have to create the tables. So this is the source table I'm going to take. So source table. So here I have the tables here. So you can see this table. I have some 8 records in the table. So I will take this as a source and I will go for the target here. So I will create a new table the same way you can also create. So we know already this table we have created. So T underscore customer underscore SCD1, the select star from this table. I'll use where 1 equal to 2. So where 1 equal to 2 means it will not select any data. It will select only the table. And then with this table structure, I'm going to create this particular table. So this table doesn't have any primary key. So if you describe the table, you can see it here. There is no not nullable columns. So here I need to alter this customer ID with primary key in order to update the target table. I'm just creating this table. So alter table, table name, add primary key of customer ID. So this customer ID, I will add it as a primary key. I have added. So in this particular table, I need one more column. So what is that column, right? I'm going to add one more column in this table, add column name. So column name, I can go for MD5 underscore checksum. So one new column I'm adding on the target. So checksum, it's a varchar 2 of some 100 characters I can add. This is one particular column I have added here in this table. So if you look at this table structure now, so this is what you have to create a table structure to show you this MD5, how it will have the value. So I have just created. So even I can create this MD5 checksum value, or you can go for, you can just compare source and target and then you can do it. So how we are going to implement this logic? So SCD type 1, what is SCD type 1? So just I'm going to take this as a source table. This is a target table. So this record I'm going to compare here whether this record is available or not. So by using customer ID on the source, customer ID on the target. So customer ID on the source, we are getting some value. Customer very initial time, you will get null value on the target side, right? So if you are getting null value on the target side, I will mark this record for insert. So insert. So I will mark it like insert. So whenever I mark it like insert, all the record I will go and insert here. I will insert it in the target. So while inserting, I'm going to have MD5 checksum value. I'm going to generate some MD5 checksum value. So what is this MD5 checksum? So MD5, it will generate some hash value. That's all. Say for an example here, it will generate some hash value like this. So I'm for an example, I'm telling this way, but it will have some value here like this. Okay. So for each and every record from the source, it will generate some hash value, the target. So like this, it will generate. So what is this one? So I'm going to take this record, say for an example, this record from the source. I'm going to concatenate all this value. So this is my source, right? I'm going to concatenate this value, and this value, right? And this value. So all this value, I'm going to concatenate and I'm going to generate some hash value. So if you go and concatenate this value with the MD5 function, right, it will generate one hash value. So for the MD5 function, all the values should be like a character value. So here you can have this concatenate all the values, it will generate some hash value, right? So this way. So very first time I'm checking this value. If it is not available, I'll go and insert here. It will generate some checksum value, right? So this checksum value, I'm going to take it like lookup. So this target I'm going to look up. So when I will go for update logic, this value and this value equal, right? So this value and this value equal, and any one of this value, right? Any one of this value is not equal, I'll go for update. If this value and this value equal and this MD5 checksum value, when it will get changed, even if I'm going to change any one value here, so this value I'm going to change it. So what will happen? This MD5 function here, it will get changed. This source MD5 value will get changed. We have to mark it like for update. Then you'll not have this one, all this, you will not have it. This one alone will mark it for update. If I'm going to mark it for update, this checksum value and already whatever the value is available here, we'll compare it. Both are not equal. I will mark it like update. If I'm going to mark it like update, I will go and update all this value by keeping this value, right? So that's what I will go for update here. I hope you are clear on this. I will generate on MD5 value. If both are equal, if this value and this value equal, then I will not go for any insert or update logic. So what I'm going to do now, so I will take this as source table now. This as source table. Source has 8 records and target doesn't have any record. So we will do it on Informatica and then we'll take it. Okay. I'll go to designer. So I will connect it. I will open the folder here. So just to open the folder. So source, I will take the source table. I'll go to the source here, import from database. So I will connect to the source. I will take the source table. Source table, I will take this table, whatever we have update strategy table, right? So this table, I will take it here. So you can see here the source table we have imported. And I will go for the target table now. You can go to the target here, target designer. So you can go here. So import it. So target T underscore. So whatever the table we just created, right? This table, I will take it here. So remember, this should have a primary key for update logic. Okay, in the database as well, in Informatica as well. I will go to a mapping. I will create this new mapping M underscore SCD type 1 MD5 function. So I will take the source table from here. Source. I will take target table from here. The left hand side I have the source. Right hand side we have the target. So first of all, I will take, okay, we can take expression transformation or lookup. Normally we'll go for lookup, right? So target we will look up and then do it. So this time I will take expression transformation. I will take expression here. So I will take all the field. So you can go for this way. And so this is our source. So I can create one extra column with MD5. So you can go for MD5 function here. Okay. So I will use MD5 checksum value. So checksum value, it is a string. You can go for 100 characters. So you can use it here. So this value I can create MD5 of. So where this MD5 function will be there. So if you go to all functions, you can find MD5 function, right? So if you go and check here MD5, so MD5 value as character or binary. So returns the MD5 hash value of the input value as character. The input value you have to give as character only. So how can I give the character? So I can go to the port here. So customer ID. So customer ID is the character. No, if you look at here, the source, if you describe this table, the customer ID is not a character. So you can describe the table. If you check it, customer ID is number. So if you validate this, it should not validate. So it should get failed. Then you can go for, so 2_ character. So you can use 2 of. So 2 of this one, right? Yes, we will convert it. Then you can go for concatenation. So next column. So whatever the column you are thinking that, okay, these column value will change, right? So those columns you have to make it here. Then you can go for email ID. This email ID is varchar here. So you can go for varchar email ID. Then you can go for phone number. So mobile number. You can go for mobile number is number. So like this. Okay. So if you have any date columns, say for an example, date of birth column, date of birth of 2 of. So this column you have to use DD, YYY or any format. Okay. So just to use this way, convert the date into a character and use it here. That's all. So since we do not have any character column, so just I will take email ID, right? Email ID, then mobile number. So 2 of mobile number, concatenate, city, concatenate, country. You can use it this way. So validate, it should be validated. So this will generate one hash value. Clear? So all this you have to add it here. Then it will generate a hash value. You can use it here. Then you can take the lookup values also. The lookup you can go for apply here. Okay. So take the lookup here. Lookup is target SCD1. So this is the lookup here. This is a lookup table. And take the customer ID from the source, right? So take the customer ID from the source. So this customer ID from source, this customer ID. So you'll comparing this customer ID and this customer ID. Apply OK. Then take all these columns. So you can take these columns. This MD5 function is coming from lookup. So you take all this, all the columns. Even you can directly take it to another expression also, no issues. So this is the way I just have taken. Then what I'm going to do here, these columns are from lookup, right? So just I will rename it like LKP underscore. So it has one here, no issues. If you want, you can just add it. If you do not want to get confused here. This is from lookup. Okay. So apply OK here. Then I'll go for router. So just I will use router here. I can route it. So when I will go for insert logic. So whenever I'm getting lookup customer ID as null value, right? I will go for. So this is my source. This is my target. Lookup customer ID. So this one I will take from here normally, right? Whenever I'm getting lookup this one as null value, then I'll go for. Then I'll go for lookup MD5 function. This MD5 function. This MD5 function alone I can take. The other values no need to take. So from the lookup also no need to take, right? So why I have to take other columns? No need to have. So just you can remove this column. So in the router, I'll go and create 2 groups. One group for insert logic, one group for update logic. So even how we will create the flagging. So same way you can create the flagging in expression itself, and then you can pass it here, or in the port you can use it. Is null of lookup customer ID, right? If I'm getting null value on the lookup, so if is null of lookup customer ID, I will go and allow this record for the insert logic. I will directly go and insert it. Is null of. So when I will go for update logic, the source checksum value, right? MD5 checksum value. This is my source. So if, so IIF, if source checksum value not equal to the target, that is lookup checksum value, then I will make true, otherwise false, right? So I'll go for this way. So even you can simply make MD5 function not equal to this one. If you want to compare with customer ID equal to customer ID and this MD5 function, that's also fine. Since we have included the customer ID in the MD5 function, so it will take this value also. Okay, so apply here. Okay, here. So both are equal and any one of the values not equal. That's what. Okay, so here, if these values are not equal, then it will go for update logic. So for insert logic, you can directly go and insert the source data, right? Source data I can insert. What about the MD5? From the source MD5, I'm just loading it. This is for insert. For the update logic, you can take Control C, Control V. So you can minimize it here. You can go for update. Update logic, we have to update, right? So take this value. So keep, okay, so we need to have this update logic. So we take update strategy. The update strategy, go for update. So take all this value from source. Okay, MD5 functions. So no need to have this lookup. So in update strategy, we have to use DD update, that is 1. So either you can use DD update or we can use 1 simply. So 1 I'm just using. So by keeping this customer ID, it will go and update all this value. So we have to update this MD5 function also, right? So whenever I have, if some value is getting changed, this MD5 function, also this MD5 value will get changed, right? So that I have to update it here. So that's what I have used. Okay, so I hope you are clear. Same way how we did it for SCD type 1. So if you are not clear, just to check our update strategy transformation mapping, then you will get to know that SCD type 1 implementation. Same way you can go for SCD type 2, type 3, all this. So I'll go for the workflow. I'll go and create a workflow for this. So new workflow, so WF underscore SCD type 1 MD5 implementation. Okay, so just to take this and go for session here, the MD5. So take this, double click on this, go to mapping. Source should be pointing to source connection. Target should be pointing to target connection. We should not truncate and load since it's updates logic. Lookup also we have to point to the lookup connection. Okay, so we are having the lookup connection. So that's all. So we have provided all the informations. So you can go for config object. If you have any stop on errors, yes. If any one errors, you have to stop the execution. You can go for stop on errors. Fail parent if this task fails. Okay, if this task fails, fail the parent. So just I have updated. So if I'm going to run this particular session, so it should read all the 8 records from the source. It should read all the 8 records from the source. All the 8 records, it will go and insert into the target table, right? With this MD5 function value. One more time, if I'm going to run the same session, it should not insert any record. It should not update any record into the target. So we will check now. So just to start the workflow. So it got completed. You can see here. You can see here, all the 8 records has been inserted into the target table with insert logic. So we can go and check now. The target, you can go and check now. So here we can see this checksum value, right? So one value, hash value has been generated. If any one single character is changing from the source, this hash value will get changed. Okay, this hash value will get changed. If any one single value is getting changed in the source, it will get changed here. So what I'm going to do, so this is what the insert logic. So now I'm going to run one more time. If I'm going to run one more time, what it will happen? It should block in the router itself. So we do not have any insert. We do not have any record for update. So this router itself, it should block. No record should go for insert logic and update logic. So it will read 8 records from the source. It should not write any record into the target table, right? So 800. Yes, it's correct. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to change any one record in the source. I'm going to change it here. So this is a source table. So manually I will update here. Okay. So manually I'll update. So this phone number, I'm going to update it. So this is the phone number I'm going to update. So this location I'm going to update. Okay. So this location I'm going to update. So click on OK here. And so I can commit it. So one record I have updated here in the source. So it will generate a new hash value, right, from the source. So from the source, it will generate a new hash value. So this hash value will be new from the source. So whatever the lookup hash value for this record, it will be different, right? So if you take, so this record hash value, right? What is the hash value now? So this is the hash value as of now. You see here. So I have taken this hash value. So once it has been generated, we will see that hash value, it will be updated. So why? Because here we are updating, right? So including hash value, we are updating here. So that's what. So the hash value will get changed. It will go and update. I'm going to run it. So since it is a type 1, it will not keep any history. So it will update as it is, right? So one record, it went for update. You can see here. So this is what you can see here. The phone number has been updated. So city here, it has been updated, right, in target. And you can see this hash value is different. This now the hash value is different. Other hash values are same. So this is what it will compare with this hash value MD5, and then it will execute. So clear on this? The same thing you can apply, implement for the flag method, SCD type 2, all these methods. So you can compare it same way. You can generate the history, all this. See what you can do here. I just created this way, right? So this way I have created. So here instead of directly you are routing it, you can create a flag like this, insert flag, update flag. Same way, you can compare these two MD5 checksum, these two MD5 checksum, and then do it. So the other way, instead of storing the MD5 value in the target table, no need to store this value. So in the look, you take MD5 function from the source. How we have created an MD5 function here, the same way, lookup field also we will take it from the source, from the lookup, okay, the target. So create one lookup target MD5 checksum. You compare source checksum, this value, and target checksum value. If both are not equal, you allow in this way. So if you do not want to store this value, the MD5 store value. So I have used here to show you how it will generate, right? So that's what. So you can use this MD5 functions to create insert logic, update logic, all this. The other method, as I have explained, just to create the same way MD5 checksum for source, MD5 checksum for target. Instead of store this value, you can get all these column values from the lookup. You create one MD5 function here, value here, this value and this value you can compare, and then you can pass it in the router, and then you can do the way you want to do history also you can do it. It's very, very simple as I have explained, right? So how we will create the flagging, the same way you have to do it. That's all. Try to implement for SCD type 2. In future, I will add the same logic for SCD type 2 as well. Okay, type 2, type 3 as well. It's very simple, same way you have to do it. Okay, I hope you are clear. Just to practice this, you will get to know all the MD5 function. If somebody asks in interview, this is what you have to explain.